they stop.
So don't get into a relationship if it is not based on Christ himself.
Allow the word of God to bring light into every dark area of your life.
Prostate cancer remains as one of the leading cancers amongst men and is responsible for taking many lives and leaving scores of survivors.
The doctor opened it. I was looking at him. Then I saw his face change a bit. But for us laymen, the word cancer spells doom. The word cancer is death.
Being physically active, avoiding obesity, good diet, mainly red meat also linked to the onset of aggressive forms of prostate cancer, so reducing the red meat intake.
We went to India, he had the cyber knife, and that is the time, from that time, we had been close even before.
Yeah.
But I think this brought us even closer.
All treatment options are available locally, okay? Yeah. So there is no need for the patients to travel abroad for the treatment also.
Banks in Kenya now have a new formula for calculating loan interest rates. It's called Kesonia, or the Kenya Shilling Overnight Interbank Average. What is Kesonia? Kesonia is the average interest rate banks charge each other when they borrow money from each other. Think of it like the wholesale price of a bar of soap. Before a shopkeeper sets the retail price, they look at a wholesale price, then add transport, rent, and other expenses to get the final customer price. In the same way, banks use Kesonia as the starting point. They then add their operating costs, staff systems, rent, etc., and a risk premium based on your repayment history to determine your final loan interest rate. Why it matters? Kesonia is fair and transparent because it's based on real market costs and monitored daily by the Central Bank of Kenya. What this means for you? Paying loans on time can get you lower interest and access more credit. Your interest rate will be unique to you based on your repayment history. Even if you've defaulted before, you can rebuild your record and qualify for a better loan interest rate over time. Pay your loans on time, build a strong repayment history, and unlock more opportunities. Contact your bank for more information.
Well, you're just in time for the latest here in the country and beyond our borders. But news reaching our desk rooms right now is about the government officially launches a green number plate exclusively to be used by people who possess electrical vehicles in the country, and the use will start immediately. We have details of that and so much more in the next 1 hour or so. So talk to us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 and at Abdiaziz Hashim 2. But here are the stories we have for you at this hour. The National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, has flagged off a peace caravan along the Garissa-Isiolo-Meru borders to prevent conflict during the ongoing drought. The peace caravan aims to promote peaceful coexistence and negotiated sharing of water and pasture resources as drought conditions worsen. Speaking in Modogashe, NDMA Chief Executive Officer Colonel Retired Harid Adan urged communities to accommodate one another and resolve disputes through community-led mechanisms.
That were affected by the previous conflict. So we are going to those villages so that we talk to them. The Boranas are with us from Isiolo County, the Somalis from Garissa County, Lagdera, and the Merus. Also we share, the Isiolo County share a border with Meru. So we want them, the elders, to talk to the youth within those villages, their fellow elders within those villages, so that we appreciate the issue of the need to maintain peace.
So hizi jamii tatu jana zilikongamana hapa, wakalala sehemu moja, wakakaa pamoja, wakakula pamoja, wakashare ideas pamoja, jinsi ya kuendelea kuishi kwa amani.
Now, still on the same, residents of Marsabit County are facing a daily struggle for survival as a severe water crisis deepens amid the prolonged drought.
In Marsabit North, particularly in El Beso and Sakumala villages, families wake up as early as 4 a.m. to search for water for domestic use and livestock. In response, Marsabit Deputy Governor Solomon Gubo said the county government is repairing stalled boreholes across the region.
Tutafanya bidii sana binadamu wasikufe, kwa sababu wanyama wanahitaji maji. Kwa saa hizi wanaenda distance ndefu sana kuweza kupata maji. Nyasi pia zimekauka. Kwa hivyo in the next 2-3 months, kama hakutakuwa na mvua, tunatarajia by the way tutapata mvua ya March, April, May rainfall. Iwapo hiyo itafail, then itakuwa ni hali hatari zaidi katika kaunti yetu.
Despite these efforts, residents say urgent action is still needed as the ongoing drought continues to threaten livelihoods and lives.
Serikali imetoa chakula lakini ni kidogo kidogo tu wanapata ile kidogo yenye wamepewa, wanapika tu siku 2 inaisha. So from there hawana ngine la kutegemea, mali yao yote imeenda, so watabaki tu vilivyo. So nawaomba mpitishe ujumbe watu wetu wapate usaidizi.
Ni shida ni saidi area hii, maji area ni yote ni chumbi, watoto ni njaa sababu ni angaro, maji hakuna, maji mzuri hakuna. Kila wakati maji ni mzuri ni shota ngari ya astu Luyangalani. Shida area hii.
More than 2 million people in the northeastern and lower eastern regions are currently in dire need of assistance. The ongoing drought has pushed many residents out of their homes and they are in search of food and pasture. Jacqueline Mashara for Lunchtime News.
Environmental conservationists have called on members of the public to embrace collective responsibility in protecting wetlands and water catchment areas from degradation and encroachment. They say safeguarding these ecosystems is critical to sustaining plant and animal life both now and for the future generations. Aaron Marie highlights how different regions across the country marked the day.
At the Marire wetland in Isiolo County, the Cabinet Secretary for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Dr. Deborah Barasa, noted that during prolonged droughts such as the current one, wetlands serve as a critical fallback for both people and wildlife, underscoring the need for their protection and sustainable management.
Wetlands across the country continue to face serious threats, including pollution from effluent and solid waste, encroachment, over-exploitation, reclamation, and the impacts of climate change.
There is intense drought and the limiting factor which is now causing human-wildlife conflict, human-livestock conflict, and even human-human conflict because, the communities and people and livestock compete for these scarce resources. The most limiting factor is actually water.
Elsewhere in Kilifi County, environmental conservation stakeholders convened to discuss sustainable traditional method of conserving wetlands with a strong focus on community-led approaches to environmental protection.
Na nashukuru ya kwamba the Kaya group is here na vikundi vinginevyo wanahusika katika mazungumzo ya leo, na hivyo ni kuonesha ya kwamba sasa jamii tunaipatia kipaumbele katika mazungumzo yetu na katika maamuzi na sera za serikali.
The stakeholders emphasized the importance of sensitizing local communities on wetland conservation, noting that residents living near those ecosystems play a central role in their protection.
Taasisi za serikali zinatekeleza sheria ambazo zinawajibika katika kulinda sehemu zile na pia kujaribu kutoa hamasisho kwa jamii kwamba uharibifu hautusaidii kwa wakati endelevu. Kwa hivyo tunajumuika na wao kuhakikisha kwamba tunahifadhi chemichemi hizi.
In Nyeri County, the Executive Committee member for Water, Irrigation, Environment and Climate Change, Frederick Kenya, urged communities to reintroduce indigenous knowledge and practices as part of efforts to conserve wetlands.
Wetlands are not only ecological treasures, but are also cultural ones. For centuries, communities in Nyeri have drawn water, food, medicine, and wisdom from this ecosystem. Therefore, wetlands are part of our heritage, our tradition, and our identity. They are woven into our traditions, our stories, and our way of life.
Officials further revealed that the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, has conducted a nationwide wetlands inventory and developed comprehensive management plans to protect key water sources across the country.
Tunataka tutumie zile mbinu tulikuwa tunatumia za kiasili. Si mlikuwa mnaenda msituni huko, mnaenda mnapanda miti wa mama zamani, si ndio? Na mlikuwa mkati miti. Turudi huko sasa. Hiyo ndio dhimu, ndio ile tuambia hivyo. Tutumie ile traditional knowledge tuko naye, tujue hii mti ni mzuri kwa hapa na hii, tutumie hiyo ndio tu conserve wetlands, ndio tuendelee mzuri. Hivyo tunataka tusaidiane na public na kila mtu, si kazi ya NEMA peke yake, si kazi ya serikali peke yake, ni ya kila mtu, and more members of public.
Conservationists are calling for, among others, a strengthened community participation and enforcement of environment laws to protect wetlands. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Aaron Marie.
Aaron, thank you for that particular report. Elsewhere, residents of Katwalama area in Marakwet West constituency, Elgeyo Marakwet County, have been urged to conserve water spring catchment areas in a bid to safeguard clean water sources. Speaking during a public awareness forum, Elgeyo Marakwet NEMA County Director Stephen Kilonzo emphasized that proper conservation of water springs is key to ensuring the continued availability of clean and safe water for domestic use. His sentiments were echoed by the Chief Magistrate of the Iten Law Courts, Gladys Adhiambo, who underscored the importance of protecting spring catchment areas, saying environmental conservation plays a critical role in sustaining livelihoods and public health.
meters from the highest watermark. Yaani wetland ipatiwe riparian reserve. Na riparian reserve ni kumaanisha ya kwamba unaweza kuweka miti ya kienyeji and the rest of the vegetation ambayo sio exotic, lakini iwe preserved, sio mahali ya kulima. Kwa hivyo tunaambia wakulima wenzetu waendelee na kupreserve riparian land vile tunaona upande hii imekuwa preserved.
Hii maji ambayo iko hapa inaenda mpaka ziwa Victoria. Kwa hivyo wakati unatumia haya maji, unafaa kujua yanafaa kuwa maji safi, ili akifika kule Nyanza, watu wa Nyanza pia wanapata maji nzuri. Now to one of our developing stories at this hour. Busia County Governor Dr. Paul Otuoma and 8 county officials are currently recording statements at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC in the Bungoma branch. That is a story that our very own, that is Simon Achola, is currently following up on, where the EACC, we can confirm to you, in the Western Region offices in Bungoma County, where the governor and 8 others are currently there. This is part of the ongoing investigations by EACC to unravel the faces behind the suspected loss of 1.4 billion shillings through an irregular tender processes. Achola Simon is in Bungoma and gives us an update. Achola, good afternoon. If you can hear me, what more have you able to gather?
Good afternoon, Aziz. Indeed, we are in Bungoma County. And of course, what we are doing here, as you've rightly put it, is that we are staking out as we wait for the Busia County Governor, Paul Nyongesa Otuoma, to actually come out of the grading room. As we speak right now, he's actually been there since 9 a.m. in the morning when he arrived at the EACC offices that actually cover here, Bungoma, Siaya and Kakamega. And what has been happening is that he's actually been recording statements as pertaining a number of projects in Busia County. Key among them, of course, the trailer park right in the center of Busia town. And of course, the EACC is actually investigating a number of projects, as I've said, but in this particular case, they're actually following up on projects that amount to about 1.4 billion shillings. Now, Otuoma is not alone. He is actually accompanied by 8 other government officials, 8 other county government officials. And EACC says that the officers and the governor are actually conflicted in terms of issuance of tenders as pertains those projects. And they've actually been doing statements in terms of just ensuring that they shed more light in terms of how those tenders were actually floated and who won them, and if indeed the county and the governor officials are actually directly or indirectly involved in terms of running those projects. But also, I just want to put it out there, but that this is not a new thing, because remember when Senate Mashinani actually had their sitting in Busia County, this is one of the issues that they've actually discussed extensively. And I remember at that point in time, the Senator of Busia County actually describing Busia County as a crime scene, and of course called on the relevant government institutions to move fast and ensure that they start investigations around several projects that have actually been going on in that particular county, so that then they unravel if indeed there's been issues of corruption or not. As I've said, of course, the governor was here at 8 a.m. in the morning, and of course he's been grilled since then, and of course we'll continue to stake out in terms of just wanting to know exactly what is happening, or if they come out to tell us exactly what the grilling was all about, and if indeed there's anything they can actually tell us. But of course, to confirm indeed the grilling of Busia County Governor today, let's just listen in on a clip that has been recorded earlier in Machakos County by the Legal Affairs and Asset Recovery Director, that is David Toh of EACC, who was in Machakos earlier today.
I wish to confirm that he was summoned to our office today at the Bungoma office, where he is appearing to record a statement. He is not being arrested, but he is being interrogated. He is being writing a statement, and we are also investigating him among other 8 officials of the county government of Busia for alleged irregularities in procurement of various projects within the county of Busia. Among the projects that are being investigated is a project for parking for lorries. So you are all aware that Busia County is near our border town, and there are lorries that are supposed to be parked before they cross the border. So there was a project for construction of a park for a number of lorries, about 200 lorries, and there are late irregularities in the procurement of the same, and many other procurement irregularities touching on various projects where the county government officials are conflicted. They could be trading with their own proxies with the county government. So he's there to record a statement as we continue with our investigations. We wish to clarify that it is not an arrest, but he's come to record a statement as we pursue. But if they are to be found culpable, of course the law will take its course.
Well, thank you so much. That was Simon Achola. Simon, if you...
The Director, Legal Affairs and Asset Recovery, EACC, of course, just confirming what we've actually been talking about. This is a story, of course, we'll be keeping a keen eye, and of course our listeners and viewers can be rest assured that we'll give them a comprehensive detail of exactly what happened here today in our subsequent bulletin. Back to you, Aziz.
So much. That is our senior reporter Simon Achola just giving us a status update on what is happening at the Bungoma offices of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. He has confirmed that the Busia governor, that is Paul Otuoma, and 8 other county officials are currently being grilled at the EACC headquarters in Bungoma County. We'll tell you more in our subsequent bulletins. Now, cooperation between the local communities and security agencies has been identified as an effective approach towards addressing insecurity in Lamu County. Speaking in Witu town during a football match that brought together security officers and the local youth, security stakeholders emphasized that close collaboration between residents and security officers goes a long way in improving safety in the border county. Now, community members are subsequently being urged to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the relevant agencies for action to be taken.
With the community, we are able to get real-time information, which is intelligence that enables us to react on time and be able to ensure that we reduce the issues of insecurity as a result of the taking advantage of the information that we get from the members of the community.
Vijana tuseme mahadarati no, tuseme mambo ya vigenge vibaya no, kile chochote ambayo inatupeleka pale pabaya tuseme no.
Vijana wengi wamepotea kwa sababu ya mihadarati, kwa sababu ya kuwa radicalized, lakini utakuta kwamba hii vitu vidogo vidogo vinaweza kufanya kwamba ziliweza kuwarudisha katika line.
Vitu kama hivi vinasaidia kuleta vijana pamoja, angalau kutuepuka zile anasa mbaya kule kama kutumia mihadarati.
Now, fish traders at a Lodwar market in Turkana County have raised concerns of a rising insecurity following repeated attacks by armed criminals. The traders say they are increasingly being targeted at night, putting their lives and livelihoods at risk. The traders spoke in Lodwar after one person was shot and several others robbed during an attack by suspected bandits. According to the traders, many now fear operating their businesses beyond daylight, saying their safety can no longer be guaranteed. They are calling on the government's intervention and ensure round-the-clock security for traders within the market.
Sasa mtu amepigwa risasi ako hospitali ICU. Na challenge ambayo tumepata kwa hii soko ni kwamba sisi tunazingirwa na msituni. Hiyo ndio advantage hawa watu kuchukua. Huyu mwenye amepigwa risasi ni cleaner wa hapa hii soko. Tangu amefanya hii soko karibu mwaka 15.
Jana jioni saa 1:30 niliona tu watu wawili wakituingilia. Wakaingia, mmoja alikuwa na bunduki, mwingine akaingia na kisu. Wakaingia kwa duka yangu, wakachukua pesa yote nilikuwa nayo.
Kiwa watu wawili wanakuja kulilisha wamama wawili kwa sababu ya bunduki, wawili ambaye serikali inatosha kuja kuwachunga. Sasa sijui leo tunapigwa watu ya samaki. Msisahau wakitumaliza watawafikia kama msipozuia saa hii.
The Kwale County Land Registrar's office is under sharp criticism following allegations of corruption and failure to serve residents and protect their land rights. Speaking during a public baraza, Land and Environment Court judge, that is Lucas Naikuni, accused some land officers of alleged corruption and harassment of residents seeking government services. Judge Naikuni revealed that several officers have already been charged and fined millions of shillings for misconduct. The remarks comes amid growing complaints from Kwale residents who accuse the land officers of incompetence and deliberate delays in issuing crucial land ownership documents. They are now calling on the courts and relevant authorities to intervene and protect their land rights.
Tuko na uchungu sana ya ofisi ya ardhi hapa. Hata tunapoita mikutano hawaji. Mambo ya unyanyasaji iko, mambo ya ufisadi iko. Leo nimechelewa kwa sababu nimemtoza registrar ambaye aliyekuwa hapa zamani alipe shilingi 1,500,000 kwa sababu ya mambo ya kufanya kazi kiholela. Nimekuwa nikija Kwale
mara nyingi kwa ajili ya ardhi, lakini ukitaka search tu unapewa mrundo mtiririko wa vitu ulete kama 10 hivi. Na mimi mwananchi mlala hoi kumchukua surveyor mpaka Shimoni Wasini ni 20,000. Nitoe wapi?
Kutoka mwaka 70 ilikuwa landi inaenda vizuri, lakini kutoka miaka hii kuja huku landi inaenda kimakosa. Inanyang'anya mashamba ambao ni watu wa hapa. Mtu anakuja kutoka ng'ambo anapewa ibaki bali, we mwenyewe uko hapa hujui. Unakuta wewe unaambiwa ondoka hapa, si kwako hapa. Na wewe umezaliwa hapo na penginepo na mambo yote, lakini unaambiwa si kwako.
Now, Kenya Ports Authority KPA has pledged 2 million shillings towards the construction of a modern science laboratory at Jimba Primary School in Rabai Sub-County, Kilifi County, following the region's improved performance in the 2025 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE examinations. At a ceremony to celebrate the school's success, KPA Managing Director Captain William Ruto underscored the importance of infrastructure development in achieving academic success. He urged parents and all education stakeholders to ensure learners attend school consistently. He pledged a continued collaboration between KPA, the county government and the national government to improve the learning environment in the sub-county. Rabai Sub-County Director of Education Jilo Justin Makaduda noted that the area had recorded significant improvements in KCSE performances, with 21.8% of candidates representing 528 students attaining grades that qualify for university admission.
I wanted to comment kwamba tuko na 10% ya hii population yote mlionipatia ilipata E. And I want to appreciate one thing, kwamba mheshimiwa, kuna tabia ya watoto walio nayo katika eneo hili ambao baada ya registration mtoto anatoroka. Sasa ni kungangana na machifu huku na huku, aje siku ya rehearsal. Akija siku ya rehearsal anakalia mtihani, kusema kweli atapata nini?
Wazazi na jamii tuwaunge mkono walimu na tuhakikishe watoto wanahudhuria shule kwa bidii. Kama idara ya KPA tutaendelea kushirikiana kupitia CSR kuboresha mazingira ya kufunzia Jimba Primary School.
Exactly 27 minutes past the hour. We need to take a short breather. When we come back, we'll tell you more news in the current world as well as business and sports. So don't go too far.
Confirm heart cath.
Halo, ume. Samahani siwezi kufika huko. Ndio, nilikuwa tayari njiani. Halafu mgonjwa wa dharura alikuja.
After I'm gone, make sure he learns Chinese. Teach him everything, okay? And I wish sincerely that your dreams can come true. And you'll become a fine doctor one day and have your own life and romance.
Welcome back to Semana Spokes from Ganagava.
Semana Spokes is your platform to query the government, get answers, and understand what is being done in your country and across the nation. It's your time to ask, participate, and be informed. Don't miss Bonganagava every Tuesday at 8 p.m. live on KBC Channel 1.
Of the show with Nairobi Fashion Week, a platform that creativity meets heritage.
And yet, even without a recent edition, Koroga still lives on in the way we plan events, in the way the audiences show up, and the way Kenyan music and African talent are celebrated today.
Tonight we feature the one and only. He's a singer, songwriter, and of course a performing artist. I'm talking about none other than Charisma.
Kuna trust issues, kila siku unanishuku. You disrespect my lover. Sema nomba my guy. Tonight I don't want no drama.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. To Education Matters now, Ruiru Member of Parliament Simon Kingara has appealed to the national government to increase funding to enhance learning infrastructure and improve the school environment for learners in the constituency. According to the legislator, most institutions in the sub-county lack sufficient classrooms, laboratories and other essential learning facilities, forcing many pupils to study in overcrowded conditions. Addressing journalists, Kingara added that the Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation for Ruiru does not align with its rapidly growing population, undermining equitable development.
Mnajua Ruiru kuna watu wengi sana na hata kama tumejenga yale madarasa bado kuna maeneo mengine mashule yalikuwa bali na tumejenga mashule 4 mapya. Mambo ya usawa iko kando kidogo kulinganisha na wale watu mbunge anatakiwa kuwakilisha. Ukiangalia ile idadi inatakiwa 1163, lakini hapa watu sasa wanaenda kuzidi milioni na eneo hili linatakiwa kugawa kama mara 3. Lakini vile IBC iliteuliwa hivi majuzi, ukiangalia katika katiba yetu hakuna muda wa kutosha wa kuweza kugawa eneo hili. Kwa hivyo itabidi tuvumilie na tuweze kutafuta wasamaria wema.
Now, learners at Esumea Primary School in Navoholo are reportedly enduring unsafe learning environment due to congestion and dilapidated infrastructure. Chairperson of the school's parent association, Alfred Sunday, says the school, with a pupil population of approximately 600, relies on only 2 newly constructed classrooms. According to Sunday, cracked walls raise safety concerns, more so to the early childhood development education learners, many of whom are forced to attend lessons under trees.
Kitu ya ajabu ni kwamba unaletea mtu viti na hana mahali pa kuweka. Hasa watoto mara nyingi sana, watoto wadogo wanasomea chini ya mti, na hiyo pia ni hatari. Je, branch moja ya mti ikivunjika sio pia ni maafa? Kwa sababu wanasomea chini ya mti. Hasa tungependa kama ingewezekana hiyo itiwe kipao mbele. Tukitoka hapo sasa tuende mahali pa jikoni. Jamani, ukiona utaamini kwamba hapo ndio mahali chakula hutengenezewa.
And of course, we're still keeping tabs on stories currently making headlines at this hour. We are keeping a close eye, especially developments that have just unfolded. If you have an electronic vehicle, the government has launched an EV green number plate, and of course, it will start right now to use it if you have an EV vehicle. Alan Oko is following on that particular beat, where to acquire it and where you're going to place it. We're also going to inform you as and when we get a hold of Alan Oko. Now to politics, where Senate Majority Leader and Kericho County Senator Aaron Cheriot has come into sharp criticism from a section of leaders from Nakuru County over alleged night meetings with members of the community in the county. The leaders say the move could divide residents along ethnic lines ahead of the 2027 general election.
In Nakuru County, leaders including former Bahati Member of Parliament Kimani Ngunjiri and a host of Nakuru members of the County Assembly called on the National Cohesion and Integration Commission and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IBC to investigate Kericho County Senator Aaron Cheriot, accusing him of engaging in tribal politics.
Tunasema ya kwamba IBC ijue ya kwamba mass transfer of voters is illegal.
Hakuna siasa imekubaliwa na IBC. Siasa imekubaliwa miezi 6 before the election. That's what the katiba says. So now watu wameenda kwa siasa kufanya usiku, kupea watu fedha, kufanya nini? Is it in the constitution, that one?
Wewe kama ni kiongozi katika seneti, wakilisha seneti kule katika bunge. Hapa kwetu tuna seneta wetu na tuna wala maseneta ambao wanatuongoza.
In Isiolo County, the Isaac Somali community has endorsed a former member of County Assembly and maendeleo ya wanawake member Zamza Ismaili Ali to vie for the Isiolo North Member of Parliament seat in the 2027 general election.
Yetu, mama yetu, dada yetu Zamzam kuwa mbunge wa Isiolo Kaskazini. Mbunge wa Isiolo Kaskazini kama anataka kugombea kiti cha ubunge, na sisi kama jamii tumemuunga mkono na tumemweka mbele awe kiongozi wetu.
I want to make it categorically very clear. I am not a tribal leader. I want all the communities in Isiolo North to hold my hand. I need their votes, I need their support. And as a mother, the leadership of women is a very special leadership.
They say the move is aimed at breaking deep-rooted cultural norms and patriarchal leadership structures that hinder women from taking up leadership roles. Giverson Minor, Lunchtime News.
Busia County Government has rolled out a digital revenue collection system to curb corruption and seal revenue leakages. The move follows the reports of tax losses linked to manual collection by revenue officers. Under the new system, traders, truck drivers, border operators and other business owners will pay taxes through approved digital platforms to enhance transparency. County officials say revenue officers were suspended in December 2025 over alleged system tampering, with sub-county administrators deployed to oversee collections. Since the changes were implemented, revenue collection has increased significantly. The county government states that the digital system will enhance accountability and increase revenue for improved service delivery.
We are not here to tell you kwamba tumeongeza ushuru ama kubadilisha ushuru ama kuongeza mambo ambayo tunafanya. Tunasema tu hivi, please do not pay cash. Lipa na simu. *640.
Tuhakikisha ya kwamba ushuru ile inatolewa inafika kwa akaunti ya Busia County na tena ikuje itufanyie kazi.
Now, property worth millions of shillings has been reduced to ashes after a devastating fire swept through the Shauri areas of Embu town, leaving hundreds of traders counting heavy losses and facing an uncertain future. The inferno, whose cause is yet to be established, broke out at around 9 p.m. on Monday night and spread rapidly through the area, which is largely occupied by furniture workshops, timber yards and showrooms.
Kulingana na ile kazi ambayo nilikuwa nimefanya hapa, kulingana na mashine ambazo nilikuwa nazo hapa, nimekuwa na hasara ya 2.6. So nimeenda hasara kubwa sana, na sijui hata nitaambia customer na siwezi sema ni nini, na siwezi sema moto imetoka wapi, kwa ajili hata sikupata mtu ambaye anaweza niambia kwenye moto imetoka.
Sami kufika hapa nilipata kwangu kumechomeka, huku kwingine kumechomeka, hakuna kitu hata moja niliweza kusave. So ningeomba serikali at least watusaidie tuone vile tutaanzia tena.
Chanzo cha moto hakijajulikana bado. Tumelala hapa tukijaribu kuzima moto. Mimi sikupata zimamoto yoyote, lakini ripoti nilipata ni ya kwamba zimamoto ilikuja bila maji.
Maana hatukuweza kuokoa anything, maana huo moto ulipoanza watu wengi walikuwa wameenda nyumbani. Sasa tumebaki hivyo, hatuna mahali ya kufanyia kazi, hatuna machine na hata hatuna shida sasa tutaanza wapi.
The family of Clinton Nyapara, a Kenyan who died in combat in Russia, is calling on the government to help repatriate his body. The 29-year-old from Giateri village in Kisii County was allegedly duped into joining the Russian military after being promised a lucrative job abroad.
Giateri village in Bonchari constituency, Kisii County. A village in shock after learning of the death of one of their own in a foreign land a few days ago. Clinton Nyapara's mother narrates how her son went abroad in search of greener pastures, leaving behind a hopeful family.
Alitoka hapa akaenda Katari. Alafu kutoka hapo nikasikia ameshaenda Russia.
Fira alifika huko alikuwa amebakisha miezi 3 atoke huko akuje nyumbani. Kaniambia amepata kazi nyingine kule Russia, naenda kufanya kazi huko. Kumuulizia naenda nani anamchukua kuniambia. Kaniambia achana tu wewe, naenda kufanya kazi. Alipofika huko tukaongea na yeye wiki moja. Kaniambia wakianza training wanaenda for 3 months. Na kutoka hapo ndo wanapewa simu waanze kuongea na sisi.
However, what was meant to turn around their fortunes turned tragic as they learned of his death through social media.
Sasa tumengojea kutoka November, December mpaka January vile imeisha hivi, tulikuwa tunamngojea at least tumuone kama ako online tuongee na yeye.
Nimeenda tu matembezi yangu kidogo, nikapata simu kutoka huyu jamaa mesa kimwenye ako Nairobi. Kaniambia bro, sasa poa. Uko wapi? Uko nyumbani? Nikamwambia hapana, siko home. Kaniambia sasa maneno si mzuri mzee. Kaambia nini? Jamaa yako bwana ni kama aliuawa huko Russia. Yuko.
The family is now calling on the government to assist in the repatriation of his body for burial.
Tunaomba serikali yaingie ndani, tutaputie hiyo mtoto tumuone.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
And of course, we hopefully that the family will get the body of that 29-year-old who died following that conflict between Russia and Ukraine. But here's the latest in the world of business. The Kenya Tourism Board has renewed the focus on the African traveller as part of a broader strategy to grow arrivals and diversity source markets. Kenya Tourism Board officials say proximity, direct flights and ease of travel make the East African market attractive and well-positioned for sustained growth.
As part of its recovery strategy, Kenya is enhancing its focus on domestic and regional tourism, positioning Africa as a key growth market. Officials say regional travelers offer more predictable and resilient demand, helping stabilize the tourism sector amid global economic uncertainties.
Last year we received 66,000 tourists from Rwanda. Mainly for beach. They came for honeymoon, they came for holiday, just to experience the Kenya beach and as well as safari.
Out of the 2.5 million tourists who visited Kenya last year, about 900,000 came from African countries, underscoring the continent's growing contribution to tourism growth. This comes as tour operators from Rwanda sampling Kenya's coastal tourism offerings described the visit as an eye-opener, saying Kenya's coast offers a unique blend of beach, culture and safari experiences that would strongly appeal to travelers.
We need to promote Kenya. Tembea Kenya promotes Kenya. So there's a lot of potential in the Kenyan market.
Mombasa, to be specific, is the access to the sea, the beaches. It's not something common. Just having a hotel and access to the beach just at the entrance. That's what's so super.
The Kenya Tourism Board says deeper collaboration with regional tour operators will play a critical role in positively positioning Kenya.
This year we are planning to grow the market more, and that is why we have invited these tour operators to assist us in marketing in the source market.
Ndutamo Kami for Lunchtime News.
The third phase of Kinani Leather Industrial Park is set to start after a project received 330 million shillings funding from the Tana Athi Waterworks Development Agency. The Water Agency Chief Executive Officer Sami Napuro says the cash will fund the strengthening of water systems that will serve tanneries at the park.
imported footwear worth 1.8 billion shillings from January to March in 2025, representing a 15% growth from a similar period in 2024 as demand for shoes increased. Kenya is targeting to reduce importation of leather products through development and revival of major tanneries. Among tanneries earmarked for revamping is the Kinanie Leather Industrial Park.
We are saying that the project is 100% complete and has been done within budget and within the timelines that were granted to us.
Phase 3 of the project includes laying of 25 kilometers of high-density pipelines, construction of a 1,000 cubic meter reinforced concrete tank, and installation of a 5.5 kilometer internal water circulation networks.
Tumefanya zaidi ya kilomita 25 na kuhakikisha kwamba kuna maji hapa. Nyuma yetu kuna matangi makubwa ambaye itasupply maji. Tayari tumefanya kilomita 5 katika zile allocated plots na zile companies ambaye tayari siko hapa ili kuhakikisha kwamba kuna maji ya kutosha.
The waterworks is part of a broader infrastructure development to support tanneries, value addition facilities, SMEs parks and a trade center.
Tanadi, we had injected about 330 million for construction of the mega tanks and water pipeline supply of 25 kilometers.
Phase 1 of the project saw the agency drill 2 boreholes and construct a 100 cubic meter elevated steel tank. Benson Rioba reporting for Lunchtime News.
Fees charged on accreditation services are likely to rise by at least 24% if the Kenya Accreditation Services Amendment Bill of 2025 is enacted in its current form. The Kenya Accreditation Service Chief Executive Officer Dr. Walter Ongeti says revision of the fees after 17 years has been proposed to align with economic realities and ensure sustainability. Members of the public have until Friday this week to submit views on the proposed bill at physical public participation sessions or the KENA's website.
We are here for public participation on 3 critical documents. We are proposing to revise our fees. We are proposing to make some minor amendments to our laws, as well as regulations, general regulations of the Act. We do this because then we would want to ensure that that testing, that certification, and that inspection meets international requirements for goods, services, products that are produced in this country for the people of Kenya, as well as those that are going out there for international consumption and also for export. We have provided avenues in terms of our website. It is available, it is open. You can access the documents there, download. We've put there the email address that you can share with us. There are also telephone contacts there. We have social media platforms which you can actually engage with us.
On the international front, China has banned hidden door handles on electric vehicles, making it the first country to stop the use of the controversial designs that were made by popular multi-billionaire, that is, Elon Musk's Tesla. It comes as electric vehicles are facing scrutiny from safety watchdogs across the world after a number of deadly incidents, including 2 fatal crashes in China involving Xiaomi electric vehicles, in which power failures were suspected to have prevented doors from being opened. Here are the details of these stories and other stories making headlines across the globe.
Under the new regulations in China, electric vehicles will only be allowed to be sold if they have a mechanical release both on the inside and outside of their doors, according to state media. The new rules are due to take effect on the 1st of January 2027. Hidden handles are widely used in China's new energy vehicle market, which includes electric vehicles as well as hybrid cars and those powered by fuel cells. They feature in about 60% of the top 100 best-selling new energy vehicles. Although the measure will only apply to models sold in Chinese markets, the country's huge presence in the global car industry means the move is likely to have an impact around the world. Meanwhile, a final vote on an appropriation bill is expected to be held on Tuesday amid the U.S. government partial shutdown. The U.S. government began a partial shutdown on Saturday after Congress failed to approve a 2026 budget before a midnight funding deadline. The U.S. House of Representatives debated the appropriations bill on Monday. Due to the partial shutdown, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics announced on Monday that the January employment report, originally scheduled for release on February 6th, will not be published on time. Finally, the innovative applications of artificial intelligence have emerged as one of the most intensely discussed topics at the ongoing World Laureate Summit, which is being held in Dubai. The World Laureate Summit has held 2 forums focusing on AI science, addressing AI-driven scientific discovery, and the integration of AI into real-world applications. Participants noted that while AI is rapidly enhancing productivity and efficiency, it is simultaneously reshaping labor structures. Scholars, although, stress that AI cannot replace human judgment in areas involving creativity, ethics, and emotional understanding.
At this hour, World Athletics has officially ratified a series of historic performances on the track, highlighted by a stunning indoor world record from American distance star Grant Fisher, while 2 rising teenagers rewrite the under-20 record books.
Grant Fisher's time of 12 minutes 44.09 seconds, set in Boston on February 14, has been officially ratified by World Athletics. The record came at the BU David Hemery Valentine International just 6 days after Fisher broke the world 3,000 meters short track record in New York. His finish shaved 5 seconds off the previous world record set by Ethiopia's Kenenisa Mbekele back in 2004. Meanwhile, Sydney Australian Isaac Buckford rewrote the under-20 record in 10,000 meter race walk. The 18-year-old clocked 38 minutes, 2.68 seconds, smashing the previous mark set in 2000. And from the track to the Olympic stage, Kenyan marathon great Eliud Kipchoge will serve as one of the flag bearers at the opening ceremony of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. The 41-year-old is a 5-time Olympian and one of the most decorated distance runners in history, winning Olympic marathon gold in 2016 and 2021 and setting world marathon records in Berlin in 2018 and 2022. Kipchoge will be among the 8 individuals selected by the International Olympic Committee to carry the Olympic flag, honoring athletes whose careers reflect unity, excellence, and the spirit of the Games.
Stunning!
And now to Europe, where Sunderland got a statement win last night by beating Burnley 3-0 at the Stadium of Light in the English Premier League. The win saw them move up to 8th position with 36 points on the table. Burnley's poor run of form saw them remain second last with 15 points accumulated in the last 24 league matches. Meanwhile, in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, league leaders Arsenal are set to host rivals Chelsea. However, Chelsea are determined to turn the tie around and boost their hopes of getting into the finals, where they will face either Manchester City or Newcastle. The 2 teams will face off tomorrow at the Etihad Stadium, with Manchester City carrying a 2-0 advantage from the first leg.
And Ben White has opened up the scoring against Chelsea. Not afforded too much space in the first half by Marc Cucurella, but he's in behind the Spaniard now. Gyökeres up there with him. On it goes to Saka's left foot. White's delivery, and it will fall for Gyökeres. who steps up to deliver in the semi-final. Chelsea do typically have a very strong record at this stage of the competition. They have progressed from the semi-final of 10 of their last 16 appearances in the final four. Neto teasing one in. Garnacho! Chelsea have one back. Alejandro Garnacho, the substitutes. Marino. Mendy gets it forwards. Into the area too! Arsenal's conductor takes centre stage at Stamford Bridge. There's one for Kepa to punch away, but Garnacho has fired it straight back in. And just like that, Arsenal's lead is halved again.
And we know the United football opposition will be watching the mighty Gunners tonight. Stay tuned, let's see if your wish comes true. Mallorca stunned Seville with a 4-1 demolition at the Son Moix in the Spanish La Liga as Udinese edged Roma 1-0 in a tight Serie A game. Both games delivered drama, goals and tactical as the race for crucial points continued. Vedat opened the scoring for Mallorca in the 25th minute from the penalty spot. Sevilla responded just before half-time through Neal Mopes' sharp finish.
Kellenkamp takes a touch and it goes in. 4 minutes after the restart, and it is Udinese. Finally the ball comes in. Dika, Tsimikas across and headed in by Cristante. But the offside flag has gone up. Goes to Atta, long way out. Why not? Good save, Svila. Zamora. Kellenkamp, it's a floating one. Punched by Svila straight to Umar Solé. Power of Umar Solé. Releases Davis. Kellenkamp in the middle. And Mancini stops it from reaching Jürgen Kellenkamp. Kellenkamp takes a touch and it goes in. 4 minutes after the restart, and it is Udinese who have scored first here at the Blue Energy Stadium, and they have deserved this goal.
And that concludes our lunchtime news. Do join us in our subsequent bulletins for more updates. My name is Abdiaziz Hashem. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Lucy Mora. Good afternoon for now.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770 572 656.
Kigumba ni kwa nguruwe, kwa mwanadamu uchungu.
Wazazi wamechangia pakubwa katika kuzorota kwa maadili ya vijana wao.
Wazazi wengi siku hizi wameachia watoto wao vijakazi ambavyo hawajui wanafanya nini, wanafunzwa nini, wanakula nini.
Ni mujibu wa kila mtoto kuchagua njia mwafaka.
Katika neno kaskazini,
maana ya shada ni nini?
Maana ya shada ni utiliaji wa mkazo katika neno.
Shada ni mkazo wa maneno katika matamshi.
Nahodha ameendesha merikebu vizuri. Ukanisho wake utakuwa nahodha hajaendesha merikebu vizuri.
Yo, and welcome to this week's episode of Grapevine, man. Brand new week, brand new month. I'm super excited about February 2026 because you know what? Events are back, manzia. We got Nairobi Fashion Week that went down over the weekend. Pia tukona Documentary Africa did their first screening right here in Nairobi, Kenya. And also, in our spotlight artist, tukona surprise artist. So what you need to do is just to sit back, relax, as I take you through what went down over the weekend. Is yours truly the party daddy, Jack Mula Amunezanita Papi? Welcome to Grapevine, baby. What you gotta do? All right, we're kicking off the show with Nairobi Fashion Week, a platform that creativity meets heritage, and of course, sustainability shapes the future. Now, this